Well. He's done it again. I hate to have to keep coming back to Brent Venables, but Brent Venables and company has done it again. They went out, and this time they've gotten a 4-star running back by the name of Kalib Hicks to commit to the Sooners. And he's from the state of Texas. Just like the wide receiver Keon Brown was from the state of Florida. Yet, a lot of these haters out there have said that states like Texas and Florida are going to be shut down to Oklahoma now because Brent Venables is an unknown and he's never been a head coach. But as Colonel Sanders said in The Waterboy, those haters are wrong again. Let's talk.
The home of the common Joe and the common Sally in the know, even more so than all those media talking heads.
How's it going out there today, boys and girls in sporting land? My name is JPC. This is the Outlaw of College Football. That's the OCF. And today, class, I just want to come in here and talk about Brent Venables and his recruiting prowess, it seems. As you know, a few weeks back, everybody that hates Oklahoma, and especially the USC fans out there on the West Coast, for whatever reason, were gleefully and spastically happy that, I guess his name's Ashton Covert or some, I don't know. He's irrelevant now because he committed to the University of Oregon, who's an actual rival of USC. Yet, you have these USC trolls on here who are basically mad because we've been calling out Lincoln Riley and all the shadiness. So every time something remotely goes wrong, they're zeroed in on Oklahoma for whatever reason. But yet, Oklahoma's the one that needs to move on, right? But they're not resting on the laurels in Norman. Brent Venables and his staff went out and got Kalib Hicks, who's a 4-star running back. Got me some notes here. I'm old school, so I don't pull up the little graphics up here and read from them. But in my notes here, Kalib Hicks is a 4-star running back from Denton, Ryan, Texas, in the Dallas, Texas area. He's got a 6.5 yard carry per average, 1,448 yards, and 18 touchdowns. He was also on the state runner-up for Denton in the 4x100 relay. So that means that son of a bitch is fast, right? So he chose Oklahoma over. Now get this. This means that he ain't one of those low 4 stars that people like to allude to, you know, the composite. He chose Oklahoma over Alabama, Miami, Arkansas, TCU, and my personal favorite, the USC Skillshitters. Yeah, once again, that moves them up from 36th to 27th. Boom. Just like that. 9 spaces. Just like that. And that's why I've been trying to tell all these gleefully spastic haters out there, for whatever reason, that want to see Oklahoma have a demise, that is still relatively early, man. I remember one season that Alabama started out 53rd in February and ended up number 1. It was one of the highest number 1 rated classes of all time. Of course, until, you know, Jimbo pulled up the bank and bought everybody last year. But now they're at 27th. So they keep jumping 9 spots every so often, every month or so, or every 2 months. They're going to end up probably close to top 5, which is probably going to be better than USC, to be honest with you. You see, you got all these other teams out here that are doing the same thing, and they are just staying even keel. But if you're able to increase your ranking by 9 spaces every so often, you're probably going to end up with a pretty damn good class, at least top 10. So all this hullabaloo out there about him not being able to recruit especially offensive players, seems like it's being disproved. Because as you know, last week he got Keon Brown, who come in from Florida, in the backyard of Florida State from Tallahassee. And now you got these two guys from Texas. You got Jackson Arnold, also coming from the Denton area and Guyer High School, to play for Oklahoma. But they said that the state of Texas and Florida was shut down for Oklahoma, that they couldn't get recruits from there, that the door was shut. Well, someone just kicked that damn door in. I think it was Brent Venables, Jeff Lebby, and all the other Oklahoma Sooner staffers that are going to show y'all that you never count out a traditional power. People might want to, and their favorite thing to do. And the reason why I'm so hell-bent on defending Brent Venables is because it reminds me eerily and similarly of the situation at the University of Alabama once upon a time under Mike Shula. When we dismissed Mike Shula, people were like, oh man, y'all wrong for that, man. That's Don Shula's baby boy. Y'all shouldn't have done that. Yeah, Alabama fans are unrealistic. They're caught up in the Stone Ages, even though we had won a national championship in '92. It only been 17 years. They were like, y'all are so unrealistic. Y'all's expectations is too high. Y'all need to lower your standards and shoot lower. Y'all can't get better. And we went through a lot of candidates after Mike Shula left. That is true. But then we ended up getting Nick Saban. And everybody was just taken aback. They were pissed, to be honest with you, especially the Miami area. And it reminds me of the Brent Venables situation in Oklahoma, because everybody's telling Oklahoma the same things. Oh, y'all's expectations are too high. Oklahoma football is dead and gone. Y'all can't win national championships anymore. Plus, it's that state y'all live in. It's not as populated, and it's just too blue collar. They want y'all to believe that. They want people from Alabama to believe that. They want to be able to sneer and look down upon the common Joes and Sallies in the know. They want to sneer and look down on blue collar people because they got some extravagant beaches out there and stuff that now are pretty trashy and got people shitting everywhere on the streets and whatnot. So my point is, these are traditional powers. Oklahoma and Alabama, for example, are traditional powers that won national championships for over 80 years off and on. And you know the old saying goes that history tends to repeat itself, right? So history is repeating itself. Now, Alabama had a downturn. It took about 17 years before we finally won another national championship. But we did. And now we're back in full swing and winning national championships at an unheard of rate. And I think Oklahoma and Brent Venables is going to bring that same heat eventually. Maybe not at the rate Saban's doing, but they will win a national championship under Brent Venables, in my opinion. They brought in this guy, Kalib Hicks, all right? This guy is a 4-star running back, as I said before. But what really impresses me about all this is they already have a stacked running back room. From my notes here, it says that y'all already got some pretty good returning running backs in Eric Gray and Marcus Majors, along with incoming highly touted freshmen Javante Barnes and Gavin Sawchuk. I may have butchered his last name. But this is also on the heels of the transfer running back that they got out of Central Florida by the name of Bentavious Thompson, who played 2 seasons with the current running back, Dylan Gabriel. Now this is going to make, for me, an even more smooth transition for this new offense at Oklahoma that everybody is so doubtful of, although they should look at Jeff Lebby and say, damn, this dude done pretty good at Ole Miss, and he learned under one of the best in Lane Kiffin. So the moral of the story here is, class, and all the haters out there, don't ever count out the traditional powers of college football, whether it be Alabama, Oklahoma, Ohio State, I don't know about Notre Dame. I don't know if they're ever coming back, but the way Marcus Freeman's recruiting, maybe. And to some degree, maybe even USC. And that's all I got to say. So, if you don't mind, look up underneath this video, like, share, comment options, then the download option. Right next to that is that wonderful heart with the thanks button. Hit that, drop me a few dollars in the coffers, and maybe one day we'll be making enough money where we don't have to depend on YouTube, and we can get that extravagant multi-team tailgate party that I've been dreaming of for so long that the football gods have told me about. And as always, KMCA to all the other teams. Class is now dismissed.